Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Audriza, and today we are going to talk about a book that I read recently, which merges one of my favorite genres of all time, historical romances, with horror. Simon St. James does a brilliant job of capturing the atmosphere and the horror and PTSD that is left in the characters in this book, and I really want to talk to you about it. So, set in post-World War One era, around 1920s in England, the book *The Haunting of Maddy Clare* centers around our protagonist called Sarah Piper, who lives a really boring life in London. She's alone, she doesn't have family, and she works at a temporary agency. She goes from jobs to jobs, but nothing just sticking. She doesn't have much going on in her life, she doesn't have many friends. And one day she's fired from her job and she calls up the temp company to get another job. There she meets her new employer, Alistair Gillis, who is a war veteran of World War One. He has seen his own share of battles, he has seen his own share of horrors, and now has dedicated his life to ghost hunting, along with his friend and employee Matthew Ryder. Initially, we do not meet Matthew until about 50% in the book. They are going to be hunting a particular ghost called Maddy Clare, who was a servant girl in 1914, and she haunts the barn of the family in which she lived. She isn't your typical ghost. She is a spirit who is enraged. She is sad. She's mischievous. She makes your life a living hell if she wants to. And these three characters are trying their hardest to determine why is she haunting the barn and nowhere else in the entire house, and what is she looking for, because apparently Maddy hung herself when she was 19. Our dear author does a brilliant job of capturing the entire atmosphere, be it the gloomy atmosphere of a village in England or the tense atmosphere where outsiders from London go to a small village in England and they try asking questions where the villagers see these people as outsiders. There is a lot of post-traumatic stress disorder which is being talked about because these two characters are war veterans. Later on, we also learn about what happened in Sarah's life, about why she's alone and the way she is. The characters are extremely inspiring, the characters are extremely compelling. From the initial hesitancy of our main protagonist because she's going to take up a job she has never heard about, ghost hunting, to actually blooming in the character, to actually blooming in her role and doing a bang on job as to finding out what is happening, is amazing. There is also a small romance in the book which is very subtle and does not overpower the entire main theme, which is horror. Along with the characters being extremely relatable, the host itself is also very well done. She was a small servant girl who was sexually violated by a bunch of powerful people who tried to cover it up, and later on she comes as a ghost to haunt each and every one of them. It is extremely relatable because in a society where we live, where most powerful people get away with a lot of things, here we see Maddy Clare who takes her revenge. This book not only deals with horror and the horrors of war and the horror in itself as a supernatural element, but it also deals with the psychological horror, with the psychological element to it, about resolving your past trauma with your present self and moving forward with your life. If you're a fan of slow burn horror with a very strong sense of plot and time, you'll appreciate the way the author has written this book. The tension building is very well written. There's a flow to the book, but I will definitely tell you that this is not one of those fast books that you can just pick up and end on a wing. Despite the book having about 250 to 300 pages, it takes a while for you to understand the concept of the book, and in the end it is a very gripping, spine chilling novel that lingers after you long after you have read it, because you don't know which were the strong suits of the story or which one you should focus on more, because all of the points, from the horror to the psychological horror to the PTSD to staying alone to the relatability, everything in itself is beautifully touched on. Thank you so much for watching, and if you've enjoyed the video, do let me know about your favorite horror books and what you think of Simon St. James, because she's one of my favorite authors, and I highly recommend you to pick this up, not only for yourself but also for me, because it's a wonderful book that the author has done a bang up job to bring to life. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I'll see you next in another video of another review about a book that I've read recently. Thank you so much. Bye.